What's up out there, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful Tuesday. I'm doing well myself. Well, looks like Trump gets to say cha-ching at the tune of $24.5 million that YouTube has to pay him. Okay? Now, Trump, see, got them special privileges. He can make somebody pay. You see what I'm saying? Anybody else that YouTube happens to wrong, well, a lot of time those cases never get settled. Oftentimes the people who sue YouTube, nothing happens of it, and that just go on to actually enable them and encourage them to continue to do people wrong. You see what I'm saying? Actually, with all of the little antics they do, erasing your comments, move the goalposts, from being able to get, YouTube monetized, all those kind of things. But no, not Trump. Trump got him. Let's get into this story right here. YouTube to pay $24.5 million to settle Trump account suspension suit. Okay? Let's get into this right here. Wow, Trump hit pay dirt big time. This comes out of Reuters. Alphabet owned YouTube has agreed to pay $24.5 million to settle a lawsuit that U.S. President Donald Trump brought against the company over the suspension of his account following the January 2021 U.S. Capitol riots, a court filing showed on Monday. Okay, the deal makes Google the last of the three big tech companies to resolve lawsuits Trump brought in July 2021, accusing them of unlawfully silencing conservative viewpoints. Okay, well, they do a lot of that kind of stuff. I ain't no conservative, and I ain't no what they call that liberal. That bullshit. I ain't none of that. But yet and still, they like to silence your viewpoints. And when you do stuff like that, guess where that cuts into? First Amendment, which they care nothing about, people. Okay, let's continue. Trump had also sued Twitter, now known as X, and Facebook owner Meta, as well as Alphabet's Google, and their chief executives in July 2021. Goes on to say here, Meta and X agreed earlier this year to settle the lawsuits. Under the YouTube settlement, $22 million will be paid on Trump's behalf to the Trust for the National Mall, a nonprofit that the filings say is dedicated to the construction of a $200 million ballroom that Trump is building at the White House. So, y'all, YouTube, you finna fund all of that, what Trump finna do at the White House. You know what I'm saying? See, it don't pay. You stepped on the wrong toes when you mess with the president, okay? And I think eventually, Trump might come back one of these days and say, if you catch you dirty doing other stuff, like to the content creators and even the subscribers who come here, to voice their opinions, in the comment sections of the YouTube, content creator. Y'all just erase their comments, just being mean. Y'all got the wrong kind of people. You see what I'm saying? In charge, like the moderators, in charge, because they let their personal feelings. You know what I mean? Who cares about your personal feelings? But dictate the rights, of others, by basically stepping on their toes. But I can guarantee you, there's going to be another thing that's going to come back to bite you in the end. Let's continue. Work on the 90,000 square foot, 8361.27 square meters facility is expected to be completed long before Trump's 4-year term ends in January 2029. The remaining amount will go to other plaintiffs in the case, including the American Conservative Union, which sponsors the conservative Political Action Conference, and U.S. author Naomi Wolf. YouTube did not admit wrongdoing. Somehow that does not surprise me. But to continue, and will not make product or policy changes under the settlement. You will eventually. Trump did not lose his YouTube account in 2021, but was suspended from uploading new videos. It was restored in 2023. In January, Meta agreed to pay about $25 million, and X paid about $10 million in February to settle similar lawsuits by Trump. Meta's settlement designated $22 million for a fund for Trump's upcoming presidential library in Miami, Florida. Wow. Gee whiz, y'all. This dude hit y'all for a big lump sum of money. Each one of you. Reporting by Deborah Sophia and Balgera, whatever that is, Juby Babu in Mexico City. Editing by T. Sim Sahid. I ain't even have to read that. But anyway, yeah, y'all. Wow, you know what I mean? See, I'm telling you, this is what happens when you do dirty things. Eventually, you are going to pay. You gonna pay. And you may not want to admit wrongdoing, but, well, you paying anyway. You know what I mean? I have a very important message for you, YouTube. Check this out.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
You heard that, didn't you, YouTube? I suggest you take heed to old Whoopi's, saying right there, because it's real. Well, people, that's all I got on this particular video right here. I want you guys to tell me what you think about it in the comment section. That's if you can comment. But make sure to like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.